Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Today, we're looking at Anthony Tresch's thumbnail, by the way. His 2-round mock. Anthony Tresch is from PFF. It's a 2-rounder. Gotta love it. Can't wait to get into it. But what's cracking like? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. And of course, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Reminder, this is not my mock draft, so calm the heck down. A lot of big videos coming out this week, so hey, hope you're around for that. And we'll be doing a walk the mock probably Thursday and Friday. That's the plan right now. We'll see. The position rankings, they'll start to come out maybe starting this week, maybe starting next week. I'm going to kind of expand them for some position groups like corners, running backs, receivers. They'll probably get like 15 and such. So yeah, a lot of good stuff happening in the build up of the draft. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. No surprise here. Aiden Hutchinson going to the Jags. He's kind of the odds-on favorite at this point. There are still some people that firmly believe Evan Neal possibly, or one of the tackle prospects could possibly go here, and we could see a maybe a draft day trade with Cam Robinson, since he has yet to sign his franchise tag. So that's still out there. I still think that's relevant. I think you can't go wrong either way. They go Aiden Hutch here. And then at number 2, Detroit Lions go KT. I'm totally okay with this because I'm pretty high on KT. I believe in the talent. He's got the skills. He's got the traits. Just a lot of people are a little butthurt when it comes to him being more of a his brand type of guy. They think it's egotistical. I don't. I think you gotta watch out for yourself. You got at some point you have to push your brand. I don't think that makes him less of a team player. I really don't. Was wonderful at Oregon. Big fan. He's in my top 5. So good pick here. All right, going to the Houston Texans. Take Derek Stingley. He will test out this Wednesday. So I'm putting a bit of a hold on my corners video because I want to see how he tests out. Looks like he's fully recovered from that Liz Frank injury, and we'll see how it is. Some people still consider him the top corner of this class. Some people have him at 2. Some people have him further than that. I think it's kind of ridiculous. I still think he's a top 10 talent I'm willing to take a shot on at the corner position. Top 5 may feel a bit rich, especially if you're the Texans, but I get it. Texans, they could use some corner help. I don't know how he would necessarily look in a Lovie Smith cover 2, though, per se. And personally, I'm in the boat of, hey, let's get help for Davis Mills and get a fair evaluation of him this year so we can figure out if we're going quarterback in 2023 or not. So that's kind of my take. Are you tired of spending $80 to $100 on your favorite team's jerseys just to watch those players go to greener pastures? Then check out Team Jersey Pros. They do custom-made shirts, jerseys, and hoodies. And with promo code Broshmo, all caps, you get 10% off that order. You can get some fine drip for only $30 to $60, depending on how you want to customize it. You can go with a football jersey, basketball jersey. I personally went with a baseball jersey. Even got the logo there. It just looks nice. It's one of the best ways to support the channel. Don't forget promo code Broshmo, all caps, gets you that 10% off. But anyway, back to the video. And then Kyle Hamilton going to the Jets. Listen, I'm not worried about how he tested out. This guy's still top 5 talent in my regard. I love his tape. The Florida State tape was a banger. I'm just going to say that. And dude's been good throughout his whole career. Yes, there's some nitpicks here and there, but you had the same with a guy like Derwin James, who is probably one of the closest comps to Kyle Hamilton. You could say his ceiling is healthy Derwin James, God willing. And I could say the floor is easily a guy that ended up played for the Rams, ended up going to the Dolphins, and just like injuries just kind of like derailed his career in TJ McDonald. So I'm cool with Hamilton here. If you're the Jets feel like they could go in the trenches with this pick. Receiver, I think, is more on the table for that 10th pick. And then the New York Giants, with no tackle being taken as of yet, they go with Sauce. And I kind of like it because at 7 you're going to get one of those tackle prospects. So why not take a shot here, grab Sauce. Don't risk Carolina doing something funky and maybe taking Sauce. And that way he's not available to you at the 7 pick. So, yeah, again, you got to kind of big brain the draft. At this point, it's like you're staring down the barrel of like 3 offensive tackles. One of them's going to be available at 7. So, yeah, go ahead and take who's that other guy, whether it's a pass rusher, whether it's a corner. Go ahead and do that. Carolina Panthers in this, they go with the safe option. They take Charles Cross. As Tresh puts it here, Cross, Evan Neal, and Akem are firmly in that OT1 conversation. Yes, they are. They're all wonderful prospects. If you're not going quarterback for the Panthers, then that leads me to believe that Scott Fitterer was the one that really had the best pitch to Tapper. I'm terrible with names, sorry. Because I think if this is Matt Rule making the decision, he's trying to go quarterback and trying to save his job. So I like that. And then the Giants. Okay, so much for taking the next tackle off the board. They go to Kobe Dean. Whoa. I mean, this is interesting. Just with how rich the linebacker class is going to be in the second round, I wouldn't go there. I just wouldn't. I'd take tackle. Get DJ some help. So, yeah, I'm not in love with it. I don't like it. Nakobe Dean, another guy that just hadn't been able to play he wasn't able to participate at the pro day because I think it was a pectoral injury. So, real shame, but I mean, hey, dude, I like Dean a lot, man. 7 just seems real rich, especially for the Giants, knowing how much help you need on the offensive line. Let's see, Atlanta at number 8 go Desmond Ridder. We know that Tresh is a huge Ridder fan. He loves Ridder. Ridder's his top guy. I mean, dude, he's up there with the quarterbacks for me. Personally, I'd still lean Malik Willis just because of the pure upside, but Desmond Ridder is a bit more pro-ready. He would challenge Mariota, I think, right from the get-go, but I don't know, man. I don't think this is the draft to go quarterback if you're Atlanta. That's just my take on it. Let's see what Seattle does. They go Evan Neal. Hey, man, if tackles fall, you do you, Seahawks. You got both Dwayne Brown and Brandon Shell as still free agents. So I think if tackles fall and you're able to snag one here, that's straight up legit. And then the Jets decide not to go receiver and go with George Karlaftis. I know they love the trenches, and they would love to get another edge guy. I think edge might be depending on if KT falls or how high the NFL is on Travon Walker, maybe they go him at 4. But, man, I really think they have to come out with a receiver. But, hey, man, they get Karlaftis. I like Karlaftis. I don't know if he really goes in the top 10. He came weighing in at, I think, 264 during his pro day. But his playing weight's probably going to be closer to 270, 275. Bit interesting pick. I don't know if it's the one I would make. Then Garrett Wilson going to the Washington Commanders. This is a wonderful scenario if he's able to come in and be the how you would say the number 2 Scary Terry. I like this pick a lot. I don't know if he'll be available here at 11. Garrett Wilson, the more I watch him, the more I fall in love with him. Minnesota Vikings take Trent McDuffie. It's no secret. Vikings, they got a big hole at corner. Even with Patrick Peterson returning, they got Cameron Dancer on the other side. Grabbing another player just to add competition and talent to the position is required, is necessary, is needed. Some people like Trent McDuffie. You either love him or you hate him. There's really no in between, and I'm a big fan of McDuffie. The Houston Texans decide, hey, to hell with helping Davis Mills. They go Jermaine Johnson with this pick. I like Jermaine Johnson. I think he could sneak into the top 10. Again, I'm kind of the opposite when it comes to the Texans. I would be going tackle then receiver at this pick for the Texans personally, because I want to give Davis Mills, again, an honest, fair evaluation. Let's get him some help. And with these first two picks, you're really building the defense, obviously. You grab and I mean, to be fair, that's a great way to build the defense. Pass rush, corner, the two probably most important positions on a defense. But I would just go the other way. And then at 14, the Baltimore Ravens go Ike Ekwonu. He says Baltimore might not be a need. Might not need an offensive tackle, but the thought of taking Akem and kicking him inside at guard is too good to ignore, which I don't mind. Take the best player on your board. If it ends up being Akem, quite frankly, could be an upgrade there at guard to play with Zettler. Then you also, injuries have been a problem at the tackle position last year, so having a guy with the capability to kick out to tackle that fits your scheme, I'm all for. Let's take a look at both picks for the Eagles. They take Drake London. I'm cool with that. Big fan of Drake London. Oh, and there's a trade, so we won't be looking at the next two picks. So I didn't know he was doing trades. Wacky, 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 wonky, wonky, wonky. So Drake London, I think this is a nice fit. I prefer, if you're the Eagles, if you're taking a receiver, to get one of the bigger guys, whether it's Treylon Burks or Drake London, to complement Devontae Smith. I think London and Burks would complement Jalen Hurts, whether it's having that big vertical target in Burks or just the huge catch radius of a guy like London, which would help the bit of errant passes you get from Jalen Hurts on the intermediate of the field. So the trade here is the Chicago Bears. They trade up for Chris Olave. Does he list what's going on in the trade? I don't think he doesn't list the trade value here. That's, at least I don't see it if he does. It's been interesting. That's going to be a lot to trade up to that 16 spot. It's going to take a lot for the Bears. But I mean, getting Olave would be awesome next to Mooney. I like that. I just don't know how much draft capital you're really going to have to give away just to get an Olave. I like the thought of the Bears getting Olave. I just don't know if it's worth how much you're going to have to give up. For the Eagles, it makes sense to stock up on. Okay, so it ends up probably being next year's first. At least that's what I think it'll be. The Chargers go Jameson Williams. I like it. You get a vertical threat that's vastly different than what you have in Mike Williams, a guy that can play in the slot, play on the outside. Then you got a nice receiving core with Williams, Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, and then you add Jameson Williams. I like that. I don't know. The Chargers are an interesting pick here because you still have Jordan Davis available. Obviously, you want to put some good run stuffers in the run game. I think linebacker's not necessarily off the board, but I know it's not a position of great value to Staley. I think tackle too. I mean, with Trevor Pennon here, so I don't know. It's been interesting. Bernhard Raimann, my boy. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Raimann. He goes to the Saints here. Saints, obviously, Terran Armstead, he walked away from the Saints in free agency, got big money from my boy, the Fins up. They will be getting no pick in this draft unless they trade up, or at least in this mock. I like Raimann. Sounds like, for the most part, the consensus, the draft community sees him more as a late first, early second. I would be willing to take this cat in the top 20. I think he's kind of like start now. Then the next pick, Philadelphia Eagles, Devin Lloyd. Listen, Eagles fans, I know y'all haven't drafted a linebacker in the first round in like 40 years, but never say never. Again, you go on a streak for so long, that could change. And then you have, okay, they brought in White, but you could still upgrade at the position. You got a very, very versatile linebacker here in Devin Lloyd that can fill a lot of different roles. And I mean, I think it's still a huge need for the Eagles. So let's see what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. Malik Willis. Listen, if you don't have to trade up for Malik and he's available here at 20, I think you take him. Because, like, is Mitch Trubisky your guy? Probably not. So grabbing a guy like Willis to, like, develop for a year, I think would be top notch. Again, you're trying to connect, you connect dots where, hey, Mike Tomlinson, he met with Malik's family. Typically, that's a big indicator of you're in on a guy and you're gonna try to make a move on him. We saw the same thing with Trey Lance last year and Kyle Shanahan. So, again, if you're connecting dots, I get it. Patriots go Andrew Booth. Now, the Patriots, they have been a bit open to what they do coverage-wise. As of recent years, they've kind of like moved, not necessarily away, but they became a bit less of a press man team. So Booth, a guy who's actually probably going to be a better zone corner, play predominantly zone at Clemson, but does have that mirror ability. I like it. The Green Bay Packers, wow. They're like, to hell with Burks. We're going Christian Watson. Listen, Watson's had probably the best offseason draft process of any prospect in this class. I mean, you get to this pick 22 and 4 of the top 5 receivers off the board. You might think, we got to pull the trigger and go receiver. You got to grab it here. So I don't disagree with them going receiver. Watson over Burks, it's interesting. I don't think it's out of the cards, though. Speaking of the cards, they go Kyrie Elam. I love Elam, man. A lot of the draft world, I feel like, seems to forget about Elam, but the dude's been wonderful for 3 years there for Florida. What really brought him down this year was penalties, but I think he'd be a good fit there in Arizona. I like this pick. And the Dallas Cowboys go Devontae Wyatt. I might lean on, let's get the big, meaty boy in Jordan Davis. But I'm not opposed to Wyatt. Wyatt's still kind of like, he would probably serve, like, he'd be a similar role in how he's used. As you got Osa Digizua here, who's more of that penetrator. Get a guy who also can penetrate, but is a good run defender. Remember, the Georgia boys, they were taught run contain first. So, but if that's the case, man, I still might be leaning towards Jordan Davis if I'm the Cowboys, if that's truly what you're trying to do. Jahan Dotson going to the Bills. Man, no one likes Treylon Burks, apparently. I like it, dude. I think he's got high-end wide receiver 2 upside. This dude's so fluid as a catcher. Very explosive route runner, explosive out of his breaks. Looks good during the receiving drills at the combine. So if the Bills want to go in on him here, then yeah, I'm totally for it. There's a plethora of ways that the Bills can go. So I wouldn't say this is off the books necessarily. Like, I don't think this is out of the cards. It's the second time I've used that terminology. I gotta get new terminology. Sky Moore going to the Titans. Wow, dude. Burks. The fall is real in this mock. So Sky Moore is interesting because this guy, you could throw him in the slot immediately. Obviously, you got a guy like Robert Woods and A.J. Brown who has that slot flexibility, so allows you to kind of do whatever you want with your receivers, move them however you like. He's great after the catch. Big fan of that. That's why I'm high on Moore. I love after the catch guys. And on top of that, I mean, dude, he was good on the outside there at Western Michigan. I mean, he played both Michigan and Pittsburgh well on the outside, teams that really like to get in the face of receivers. And he's got the speed. So Jordan Davis going to the Bucks. You're pairing him up with Vita Vea. It's deadly. I still like Zion. I think Zion Johnson's I would consider Zion Johnson quite a bit if I'm the Bucks here. I mean, you ain't gonna hate Jordan Davis, so Jordan Davis is up there. He's kind of a unicorn for his position, so let's see what the Packers, Boye Mafe, get an edge. I think a lot of people kind of agree this pick's probably their first two picks are receiver edge. Some people talk about offensive line. And I think with Zion Johnson and Trevor Penning still being on the board, I might go with that option instead. This is a deep edge class if we want to go edge in the second round. I think you might do that. But hey, depending on where the value's at, go with whoever your guy is. Boye Mafe ends up being the guy here. I'm not against it. All right, the Chiefs get 2 picks. Kyler Gordon being the first one. So essentially they reach, I would say reach on the corner position here in the first. I see Kyler Gordon more in that second round area. Guy with not necessarily the physical traits as I thought he would measure out with. And I mean, dude, he had played good football last year. He has ball skills. He's still a bit of a project. Travon Walker's still on the board. Totally forgot about that. He's going here. That would be this is a spag pick. I don't think he's going to be available, but man, if he is, then Kansas City Chiefs, you lucked out. 31, the Cincinnati Bengals take Tyler Linderbaum. This, I think, is the absolute floor. Listen, I get it. Ted Karras is probably your center. But if the value's here, then I wouldn't mind going Linderbaum and then King Karras, who has guard flexibility. He's played guard. I think he played guard last year quite a bit for the Patriots. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. If this is how the board falls, yeah, I'm jumping on Linderbaum. And let's see what Detroit does with this next pick. Jalen Pitre, they grab a slot. That's interesting. I like Pitre a lot, man. The guy's just a ball player, man. He really is just a ball player. He's got a great nose for the football, flies around the field, loves to lay the hit. Like, I like it, man. This is honestly a Dan Campbell type of guy. All right, we're going to start the second round, which means I got to take a swig. Oh, that's good. All right, let's see how he does this second round. Okay, he actually does have write-ups. So Travis Jones, nose tackle position's a bit of a question mark there with the Jags. Yeah, they got a couple of guys like Malcolm Brown. I forgot who was the cat Hamilton that they drafted last year at Ohio State, but it wouldn't stop me from not taking Jones. I mean, they bring in Fadakasi as well. And Travis Jones, legit, that's going to be his cop, Fadakasi. So, I don't necessarily think I like the pick for the most part. I mean, Trevor Penning's available. I might be taking a shot at tackle. I really might. Leo Chenal going to the Detroit Lions. I love this pick. If you're not new to the channel, you know I love Leo Chenal. I think the dude, he's not typically what I like in linebackers, but linebackers are also a hard position to get right in terms of projection to the NFL. Unless they're like a Micah Parsons, it's pretty hard to be like, oh, maybe will this guy and his athletic traits translate to maybe immediate success or success down the road. Like we've seen guys like Patrick Queen and Devin White struggle right off the bat and kind of come into their own in later parts of the season, more so year 2. Leo Chenal, though, I think translates well immediately, and in coverage, how he tested out leads me to believe he might be pretty not as limited as I once thought. He reminds me a little bit of Peter Werner, who got drafted in the second round by the Saints, who was limited in coverage just because Ohio State protects their linebackers in coverage, but then tested out way better than I expected. Leo Chenal is kind of that guy, so excuse me, if you see me being a bit more lenient on Chenal than I was with Werner last year, that's just me trying to evolve my process and trying to figure out what to look for in my linebackers. So I'm glad you're here to follow me through the process. I mean, just look at these measurables, just how he tested out. Everything's in the 87th percentile or more. That's just wild. The Jets take Treylon Burks. How can you not? Him sitting here for y'all, I think is just great value. I don't think Burks falls out of the first. Zion Johnson ends up going here. That would be a great pickup for the Giants. I still think they should have went tackle in the first round at some point. I guess you kind of make up for it here, but I guess he'll come in. He'll be that, I guess you would say left guard. You got Feliciano playing center, and then obviously you have Glowinski at right guard. But still, you got a big hole at right tackle. Houston Texans take Kenyon Green. That's a bit interesting, just kind of considering they see Tytus Howard apparently more as their left guard of the future. They only really moved him to left tackle when they dealt with injuries this past season. It doesn't look like they're trying him on the right side anymore. Kenyon Green would probably then have to move to right guard, which is fine. The guy tested out amazing at guard. Does he still have that tackle capability? Probably not, based on how he tested out. But I wouldn't say it's an absolute no bueno. Chad Muma going to the Jets. The Jets have one of the worst linebacking cores in football, so adding to talent to that is desirable. Chicago Bears, Tyler Smith. Pretty solid. Oh, I'm kind of curious where the Eagles I'm kind of curious. Did the Eagles trade and pick up a second from the Bears, or was it just the first and maybe some change? I don't know. We'll see. But Tyler Smith, hey, get your boy Fields some help. Smith immediately adds to that, whether you're playing him at tackle or guard. And they grabbed Olave, so that's stellar. I like that. Seahawks take Sam Howell. I get it, taking a shot on a quarterback here in the second. I think if you're the Seahawks, I want to invest in this class. I just want. Despite how much I love Sam Howell, he might be the best value on the board. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, maybe you do take the shot. I'm kind of iffy on that. At 41, they take Arnold Ebiketie. So that's pretty nice. He tested out way better, way more explosive than I expected him to. I think he's got a pro-ready skill set in terms of his what he brings as a pass rusher. He may not have a lot of moves, but he has a lot of counters to those moves. His approach to the pass rush, or to rushing the passer, is top-notch, and I think that translates immediately to the NFL. And then Trevor Penning, he ain't fallen this far. If the Colts can get him at 42, then have at it. Good on you. That is solid. And then the Atlanta Falcons take George Pickens. They get that receiver. I think this is a good spot for Pickens. I don't see him falling maybe past this pick. Just with the receiver with his size, there's some guys with size in this class, but not a lot. But yeah, no, I like it. All right. Cleveland Browns, Nick Bonito. So they get an edge that can fly around that corner. I don't mind it. Nick Bonito's interesting. I think he's a top 50 guy for me. It's just he's so scheme dependent. If you don't see a role for him on your defense, a lot of teams are going to pass on him. Ravens managed to get David Ojabo in the second. The injury probably pushes him down since he's going to have to redshirt his rookie year, and he's already a very unpolished prospect, so it kind of be a steal. He's got that first-round upside to him. Minnesota Vikings take Jamari Sawyer. Remember, you still got a question mark. You don't know Wyatt Davis. Is he going to hold out at right guard? So grabbing Sawyer, who tested out like when he moved to guard at the Senior Bowl, looked very good. So I don't mind it. Oh, I really like Washington going Lewis Cine here. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that. The big part of where their secondary struggled was at the safety position. So grabbing a guy like Cine, top notch. Bears go Roger McCreary. I'm a bit indifferent because I really like how Thomas Graham played in the slot last year. Obviously, you're picking McCreary here, thinking he's your cornerback too. And I think he has that upside. He played on the outside for almost his whole career. It's just you see the arm length. It leads you to believe that maybe he's a slot at the next level. Just guys with sub 30-inch arms at corner. Typically, they don't start on the outside. I think your exceptions last year was like Cameron Sutton and Dante Jackson, which those guys were still used quite a bit in the slot. Saints take Matt Corral. Hey, listen, value is value, and this is great value. Chiefs take Logan Hall, another guy. I mean, I guess he's a potential upgrade over who is it? Wharton, who's kind of the undersized interior pass rusher there. So grabbing Logan Hall, who's got a bit more size to him and can play next to Chris Jones, would be phenomenal. Just feels like another spag guy. Eagles take Kirby Joseph. They get a safety. I'm more of a Nick Cross guy. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I love the comp that I have for Nick Cross. So when we get to that safety projections, because I'm doing comps have been fun, but I'm not always in love with comps because it's not like you're not really comparing these guys like they're clones of their comps. Just they have traits similar to those comps. Maybe it's their play style, measurements, stuff like that. So yeah, when we get to comps, don't get too bent out of shape about them. But Kirby Joseph, man, he's good, man. He's a guy that I don't mind being in a split high there with Anthony Harris. So not bad. Jaquan Brisker going to the Steelers. They didn't bring back Terrell Edmonds, so Brisker would, I think, even if Edmonds is there, huge upgrade. Packers go Zach Tom. So I guess they're playing him at guard because they got Josh Myers at center. For me, and they list the percentile there, but I think that's for the center position. And I think that's Zach Tom's spot in the NFL. That's a bit interesting. I don't know. I'm a bit indifferent. Patriots take Drake Jackson. Fine pick here. Great movement skills, good size. He'd be a bit more of a project, though, for the Patriots. Kingsley Nagbari going to the Arizona Cardinals. Y'all know I love Kingsley. Put up great numbers back-to-back seasons in the SEC. He's got the strength. He's got the violent hands and the high motor. I think he'll succeed in the NFL. I'm a big fan. Darren Kennard, not in love with this pick. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I get it. They need someone else that can play guard, and at least he's got right tackle capability, but I'm not that high on Kennard. Buffalo Bills go Troy Anderson. So yeah, they got Tremaine Edmonds. Do they bring him back on a long-term deal? I wouldn't, and I don't think it's going to happen. So having Troy Anderson to kind of mold him for the future, I like that. Daxton Hill going to the Falcons. I like that he's got the slot and center fielder capability. I think he's probably going to be a deep safety in the NFL. Just because I with his play strength and thin frame, I just don't see it translating well in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be nearly as, what is the word? I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the physicality of the NFL. It's not going to be like college. And I think moving him back to deep
enables his ball skills, because I think his ball skills were far better at deep safety than they were in the slot. Green Bay Packers, Trey McBride. Yeah, dude, he's a potential upgrade over Robert Tonyan. So, yeah, I like that. That's good. Trey McBride is a good spot for him. Channing Tindall going to the Buccaneers. Hey, man, Levante David's up there in dog years, man. The man is getting older. So Tindall would kind of be that blitz and will. So that would help. He's got that sideline to sideline range, too, on him. So I like it. All right, what else we got? 61. You are the Niners. Martin Emerson, great fit. Great fit. The guy's got legit ball skills. I think he had 12 pass breakups in 2020, not 14. But I could be wrong. But he tested out with decent long field speed. With how adept this guy is in zone coverage, we're going to see a lot more press from the Niners. I think that's kind of clear with the Ward sign-in, so I like it. Calvin Austin of the Chiefs, man, they just get a weapon, man. Weapon. I don't mind it. And I like it. They got one more pick here, right? No, they don't. I lied. DeMarvin Leal going to the Bengals. What was it? They drafted Cameron Sample. They also have Khalid Kareem, who would I think are the similar roles to what DeMarvin Leal would play. The dude is a tweener. He would be a good pick here, but man, maybe I'm looking more into what the corner class has to offer here. Yeah, I think that's probably where I would probably try to go, but I get it. Leal, man, he was formerly could have been a top 10 pick, and then had the interesting year, and then obviously had the arrest right before Christmas, but it wasn't that big of an issue. And then the final pick, Quay Walker, going to the Broncos. I'm telling y'all, man, the second round, day 2 in general, is filled with a ton of great linebacker prospects. Quay Walker is among them. They really only have Josie Jewell there at linebacker currently. So adding Walker to the mix, top notch. I like it. I like it a lot. Overall, very interesting mock. We see no Kenny Pickett. So Kenny Pickett takes a huge stumble down boards here. So maybe Tresh is on the same mindset when it comes to Pickett as I am. But there were some picks, obviously, I disagreed with. I kind of mentioned those as we went through them. But overall, interesting mock. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.